Hi everybody. Thank you for waiting. Sorry about the 4-minute tardiness. Let me know if you can hear me, please. By text chatting, hello, I can hear you. Something like that. Oh, good. Thank you. We have confirmation. So if you already know you're gonna like this live stream, please give it a thumbs up now. Just because YouTube, that counts, and it'll help people see it in the vastness that is YouTube. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what it is for you in the world. I do think that's very cool that it's a different time for different people in the world. I think my inner child likes that or something, because I never cease to be engaged by that fact. So if you don't know me, you are welcome, very, very welcome. If you know me, you know you're welcome. But if you don't know me, you might think, oh, I don't know her. Maybe this is weird, watching a healing with a healer, I don't know. But it's not like that. You are very welcome to watch this healing and heal yourself as you watch, if you wish. It is sold out in that there are 90 people that I'm going to be healing, and those 90 spots sold out a while ago. But like I said, you're welcome to watch and just learn and enjoy. It's kind of like a walkthrough because I say out loud what I'm doing as I do it. New glasses. Reading glasses. What was I gonna say? Well, the theme is really cool. This is a healing masterclass, so it's a one healing product thingy that we're doing today. The healing part will probably be about an hour, and then there's this talk I do in the beginning and a little talk at the end. Hello, hello, hello from everywhere. Toronto, we have US people, we have UK already, we have, I think that's it so far. I will be healing, let me get rid of these old healing sheets. I will be healing 90 people. And they are, I can tell you the different countries they're in too, which is kind of geeky fun for some people, including me. So today, the 90 people I will be healing are in 8 countries this time. And of the 90 people, there are 9 kids, age ranges 3 to 17. And it struck me when I was registering the payment for one of the kids. It's like a healing on creativity and self-expression. Like, man, that would be so cool to get as a kid. Like, wow. But better late than never, for sure. So hello to all the adults, the 81 adults that are getting this healing, in addition to the 9 kids that are getting this healing. Good for you guys too. And so there are 65 people in the US. I'll be healing 7 in the UK, 6 in Indonesia, 5 in Qatar, 3 in Canada, 2 in Spain, 1 in New Zealand, and 1 in Bermuda. So hello everybody. And the theme is creativity and self-expression, meaning that we will do specialized healing techniques to help with creativity and self-expression. But in addition, we're going to do a lot of fundamental stuff, because you can't just do the, some people think of the theme related stuff as the fun stuff. But you can't just do that, because if you skip over your basics, it's not going to work right. It's not stable and reliable that way. So there's going to be a lot of foundational stuff too, as we usually do in these group healings. So like having a wide grounding, unblocking grounding, repairing the aura, repairing all the chakras, major and minor chakras, repairing all the energy channels of the body and spirit. And then we're also going to do energy safety stuff as a sub theme, which I emailed. Thank you. I love the glasses too. We're going to do the a sub theme of energy safety, because I was reading, you know, the participants, and I can tell that they need extra work. Just repairing the good karma windows back here, which are good for energy safety. They're good for a lot of things, like receiving good karma from the universe, which is why I call them good karma windows, but they are good for energy safety. And I noticed that I'll explain this later too when we actually do this part, but if your 7th layer of your aura, the outermost layer of your aura, ideally if you do like the rainbow system, you know, red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, deeper blue, purple, then your 7th layer generated by your 7th chakra, that energy in the outer layer of your aura would be purple, right? And so a lot of people have aura, what I would call aura blackening, which is where that outer layer, even if their 7th chakra is purple, their outer layer is maybe 20% black, maybe 50% black, maybe even 60 or 70% black. And that can get that way due to, like, color is vibration, speed of vibration. So a literal white color, if you saw an actual white color in your energy field, it would be way too fast vibrating. It's probably a being, and so you ask your angels to remove it. So you don't want white in your space, and you don't want black in your space. Black as a color is very slow moving, and so it's basically like stuck energy. It's so slow, it's pretty much stuck. So a lot of people, if they just dump energy on you, you know, maybe they're telling you about the bad day they had or something, and they accidentally dump a sampling, so you really understand how bad their day was. So you know, that could be how you get all this stuff. Some people, even that work their energy regularly, have a good deal of aura blackening because they just don't, you know, I haven't talked about it so much. But anyway, I noticed that specifically the blackening in the 7th layer of the aura. I just recently noticed this as I was prepping for this live stream, this healing today. The aura blackening in the 7th layer has a lot to do with your energy safety. In that beings, invasive beings, when they're kind of, you know, looking and seeing whose system is more permeable, they can, it's easy for them to assess that outer layer of the aura, which is similar to people. I mean, because the outer layer of the aura, that's the first layer. It's easier. The first one that they come into contact with, it's the 7th layer, but it's, you know, when they kind of sense you, that's what they're sensing. And so it has a lot to do with first impression, people's first impression of you with people. So with beings, it's a little similar, and they're just sensing just that outer layer, and they're sensing the aura blackening, because if you have a lot of it, they're sort of assessing that, oh, this is going to be an easy system to hang out in, because, you know, black energy is stuck. It's not moving very fast, and so it's all clogged. So it's very easy for someone to cord that, you know, even a person, but also an invasive being, and just kind of hang out there. So so we're going to deal with aura blackening, but specifically the 7th layer of it. I mean, it's good to get rid of all of it everywhere, but you know, that's sort of a healthy and gentle, you know, you do a pacing with it. But we're going to specifically do the 7th layer and get rid of as much aura blackening as we can that is healthy and gentle. But I think if we're just doing the 7th layer, we can pretty much, for most people, we can get all of it. The aura blackening, for some people, you know, they'll continue with their angels in their sleep. But anyway, so if you get that 7th layer to be just your purple and not any clogged up energy that's so stuck it's the color black, then you're safer. And so these good karma windows are less likely to get busted all the time. So we're not only going to repair these good karma windows, so that, you know, for now you're safe. We're going to also get rid of the aura blackening in your 7th layer of your aura. And we'll see, you know, I'll learn over time. But from what I can hear from the angels, that has a lot to do with your, how long these good karma windows will stay repaired. So if you have a lot of aura blackening, maybe they would only stay repaired 2 days. But if you have no aura blackening in your 7th layer, maybe they would be fine for like 2-3 weeks or more. Hope that makes sense. But if it doesn't, don't worry. I will be doing it in the healing, and so you can just do rather than like cognitively understand it. You can just make it happen, right? So, but that's the energy safety aspect of it. The creativity aspect of it, and self-expression. I don't want to tip my hand too much as to the techniques that I'll use for that. You can read it in the info section if you want, you know, to know, like before watching the rest of the video when it's a video, but I think I'll just let it evolve, you know, for the live people. But I don't think that we'll use like new techniques for the creativity and self-expression, just existing techniques in cool ways for the theme, creativity and self-expression. The new stuff is basically repairing the good karma windows and getting rid of the aura blackening so that it's more lasting, your safety. Knock on wood. Yeah, that's pretty much what I want to say. Oh, the group healings, they are selling fast. Probably faster than they have been. I mean, I would say never assume, you know, just always check. And I will put sold out when it's sold out, of course. Well, usually soon after it sells out, I'll put sold out. But if it gets into like the 20s, I try to put, you know, how many are left roughly. I mean, I might, if it's selling fast and I haven't, you know, updated my site in a day, I might be off by 10. But anyway, so now this one obviously sold out. The July triplet set, July 3rd, 5th, and 7th triplet set, which is I have a not very kid-friendly name for it called the shit triplet, and that's helping you to take care of your own shit and not take on other people's shit so much, otherwise known as baggage, responsibility, and boundaries. And kids, I do not think that in most situations in life it is appropriate to say the word shit. It's just sometimes when you're an adult, it is appropriate. Okay, so anyway, the shit triplet sold out. I don't know if my swearing just like drew everybody's attention to it and they realized, oh yeah, I really do need that one. But anyway, but then the one after that, which is a similar sort of like twin theme maybe, is like, it's something about like, don't play games anymore. Don't put up with people's games. Don't you play manipulation games. That is the Healing Masterclass for July. And that is, there are only 26 spots left for that. That's the news part of it, is that even that one, the July Healing Masterclass, is starting to sell out. It's at 26 spots right now. So just a heads up. And then August sessions are up and available on my website. And then you can just see the themes for September and October on my website and the dates if you're interested. Okay, so I'm going to catch up on my hellos and then we're going to get started. Let's see. So it says, yeah, it's working. Hi, Janet. Hello, I can hear you. Good morning. Hi, I can hear you. Hello, Janet. Good morning. Hi from Toronto. Good day. Thank you for being you. Good morning, Janet. New York City. Hello from New York City. Hello, New York City. Hi, Janet. Mushrooms and rainbows and four-leaf clovers, all sorts of things. Also love the glasses. Can we get a healing for more deservingness, please? Deservingness. That's kind of a funny word. I mean, I think what you're talking about is heart chakra stuff, 4th chakra. which is self-love, self-worth, it also relates to receiving. So I think that's what you're talking about. And we will not exclusively focus on the fourth chakra today, but we're going to repair and heal and unblock all chakras. So you can just pay attention extra to the part where we're healing and repairing the chakras, because that part will be good for you and everybody else for receiving and feeling that you're worthy. Okay. And if you want a specific video on YouTube that already exists, you could search Janet Wright Enthusiasm Flowers. That's a fun one for the heart chakra, because heart chakra is also enthusiasm. So if you work that, it helps all the other aspects of the heart chakra. So Janet Wright Enthusiasm Flowers would be good. Okay. Good morning, Janet, and a little smiling, waving person. Hi, nice to see you again. Hi, from Spain, from Torrelodones, Spain. Yeah, apologies for my tardiness. Have been captivated by the Lord of the Rings. Looking forward to the session. Well, I'm glad they let you go so you can have the healing. Good morning, good morning. Love you, Janet. Thank you. All those flowers. Okay, well, wonderful. Thank you so much. You guys are really nice. Get my notes ready. For those of you that don't know, I do timestamps these days usually. Timestamp links. So what that means is that later you'll be able to see a link for any of the major things that we're doing in this healing. Most of them, they'll have a link. So if you wanted to skip to that part later in the video, it's possible. And those links will be both in the comment section and the information section, if YouTube lets me put them there. So now I'm going to be quiet as I say hi to everybody on a spirit level before we start. So I'll be quiet for maybe a minute. So you can just, prepare yourself, just breathe, maybe have a healthy beverage. You could do a little stretching of your neck or, your ankles. And I'm going to finish prepping, say hi to the 90 people I'm going to be healing, and start the healing just to get in a good mode, and then I'll start explaining what I'm doing. Okay, so I said hi to everybody, the 90 people that I'm healing, and I asked everybody to redo their super buffers, which is a fun term. Um, it's the gold energy aura buffer zones, but with 100 times more gold in them. You create them. If you don't know what they are, later you could watch a video that I have that's 18 minutes long called Gold Energy Aura Buffer Zones. And I'll link that below later in the comment section. But it's that, but then hyped up 100 times more gold. And we've been making those in recent group healings. And with the prep work on the astral that these 90 people did with their angels, like everybody, even newbies, no super buffers. So I reminded everybody to redo your super buffers because there was some, damage, because that's the point of a super buffer, is to absorb the damage that you're getting rather than, and hopefully it doesn't get so damaged that then it stops protecting your aura. So, but obviously you do have to redo your super buffers. And lately I've noticed that actually super buffers are very useful for like as a diagnostic. You can kind of assess your super buffer rather than just recreating it. I mean, if you're busy, yeah, just recreate it. But if you're not, if you have a minute, you can just like look at your super buffer and see where the damage is, like what areas of your aura are getting energy thrown at it. And that way you can assess, maybe there's a person that's throwing a lot of energy, in which case you can help that person to calm down, remind them about their angels. Or maybe there's a few beings throwing energy, in which case you can ask your angels to recycle them. So super buffers can be very useful that way. And it's a way where you're not actually getting damaged to get that information. Your super buffer is getting damaged, and then you just kind of assess it. You're like, okay, let's recycle 4 beings. Angels, please recycle 4 beings that are pummeling the top of my super buffers, and then, oh, I need to have my dad calm down. So, hey, Dad, are you okay? Remember you have angels. Oh yeah, sorry, honey. And he goes away. So it's like that. You just sort of assess. But anyway, the quick version is redo your super buffers. And then so you can have if you're healing yourself right now, you can have just a copy out in front of you of you, your aura and your grounding. And inside there is you with your chakras and your aura layers. And you don't have to see that level of detail. Even, me, I'm able to see that level of detail, but now, when I started, I wasn't, but now I am able to see that level of detail. But I only like really perceiving what I need to perceive at a given time. So, you could do it that way too if you want, and just think of, like, when you're repairing your aura, think of your aura. When you're unblocking your grounding, think about your grounding. Imagine it. So you don't have to be able to see really ever. I mean, you just use your imagination, your intuition, you just kind of go for it. Vision comes with time and practice. The more present you get, the more unblocked your 6th chakra gets, the more safe you are, the more it works better. So you can't just exclusively focus on vision at the expense of everything else, because it's just not going to be sustainable. It's not going to be stable, your vision. You need the whole package. You need to be fully present first. So anyway, speaking of which, we need to do aura repair. For some people, we need to do grounding. Let's start with grounding. So I always suggest that your grounding is nice and wide, and it goes all the way down to the core of the earth. So what is grounding? It's a way to release. It's a literal energy creation that you're making, like a giant waterfall or giant tree trunk that flows downward swiftly. Which is why I prefer imagining a waterfall. But anyway, you make it red or orange or yellow, as wide as your whole aura, all the way around, and as high as your 3rd chakra, all the way down wide, all the way down to the core of the earth. So, way below you. Right? So just imagine you're grounding out in front of you, and make sure it's wide, because if you haven't thought about it in a while, maybe it's not. Maybe it got clogged and then it got really narrow. So just unblock it, melt away the blockages with gold light. from your hands. You have hand chakras, and then you have fingertip chakras. And so you just unblock those. It's like when you're washing your hands with soap and water, you're getting germs off of your skin, right? So when you do this, you're using the energy of one hand, the energy generated by one hand, to unblock the other hand, right? So you just unblock your hand chakras more and more. Why do you need them unblocked? Well, because more energy is better, more healing energy is better. So the more they're unblocked, the more energy they generate. And they work even if you didn't know you had hand chakras. So don't worry. If this is news to you, they still work, and you can still use them. All right, so then grounding. Just imagine the blockages and melt them away with the gold light. The blockages can look like clouds or, well, rocks maybe. You have some weird spinning clouds, those are probably beings, so you can just say, angels, can you please recycle those? We could do that. You know, just think about grounding beings in your grounding, and just maybe just get them all in one little section. Just move them all into one section. It's like, you know, if you're dusting or something, you know, and you have a broom and a dustpan, right? So just brush all the beings into one little area of your grounding, and then be like, angels, can you recycle all these? And then just sip your healthy beverage while your angels do that. And another way to remove beings, if you didn't like the whole sweeping them thing, is to use vacuum boxes. So let's do that too. Let's use vacuum boxes everywhere though, because it's always useful to remove them from everywhere, and it's so easy to use vacuum boxes. So with vacuum boxes, you make these little cute little boxes. Well, they don't have to be cute. You make boxes, energy boxes, that maybe are clear and gold, or whatever color, rainbowy colors you like. But you just make a bunch in your grounding. The idea of a vacuum box is when you turn it on with your remote control, it will suck up beings into the box that are in the vicinity of the box, because you don't want any beings in your space. You're the only being that belongs in your space, right? So you just make these vacuum boxes, put them in your grounding down beneath you, right? Put them in your aura, put them in front of all your chakras, some vacuum boxes, put them in back of all your chakras, put them above your top of your aura, in the top of your aura, above your head, put some vacuum boxes. Just make a whole bunch. You can even imagine your spiritual path, like a road out in front of you that's just for you, your spiritual path. And go ahead, put some vacuum boxes ahead of you on your spiritual path. So you're unblocking your spiritual path. You're getting rid of any beings, maybe some people in the way there. Just whole bunch of vacuum boxes on your spiritual path. So we have them in our grounding. We have them in our aura in front and behind our chakras. We have them right in our aura above our head, and then above the top of our aura. Whole bunch of vacuum boxes everywhere, right? Okay, now we're going to turn them on with the remote control. So they start, you know, sucking up beings, and you just chill out and let that happen, and relax. And the idea is that when they're full, they'll just make a little ding sound, so that you know they're full and they're done. I'm gonna oh, very fun. Okay, I'll continue with the walkthrough, and then we're gonna do something slightly different. Okay, so now the vacuum boxes are full, and so you just say, angels, can you please recycle all my vacuum boxes? And they'll see where they all are, really simply. So all you have to say is, angels, can you please recycle my vacuum boxes? And then just relax for a sec while that happens. Okay, so my 90 people that I'm healing right now, I want to say like 70% of, no, I'm 70 out of 90 of those people ish, 73 actually, did the vacuum boxes just awesome, right? But then there are some that were that got a little confused with the vacuum box idea. Some of them are telepathic participants, some of them are just people that are a little more stuck. And so the idea of clearing beings out of so many places at once just kind of blew their mind a little. So it brings up actually another really important thing I want to do with people, which is I'm going to write it down too. I think this will help with energy safety a lot. We want you to be able to hear your angels on a subconscious level all the time, right? Because angels are there to protect you and guide you and teach you and help you. But it's hard for them to do that if you subconsciously are not hearing them. Maybe you're hearing them on certain topics, but other topics you're just not hearing what they're trying to say. And so you can't cooperate with your angels. Like, for example, if your angels are saying, no, don't email that person back right now, they're going to whack the heck out of you. But when you email them, just chill out, and you haven't eaten in 5 hours. Why don't you have your lunch first? You know, like your angels might be trying to guide you towards a safer, more logical route in your day, right? But if you're blocked, you don't hear that, and so you just run right into, you know, some drama that could have been avoided. Or, you know, with this stuff, you know, with those 17 people, their angels could have made sure they got all the vacuum boxes in all the right spots, but they just got too flabbergasted, and they had a wall up and they couldn't hear their angels. So they're just like, ma, Janet, this isn't working, you know? So what we want you to be able to do is hear your angels, right? If your angels want you to ground at some point, we want you to hear that. So you're like, oh, thanks, angels. That's a good reminder. And we want you to reground. That could be even just subconsciously. So you don't even have to think about it consciously. I'm not saying don't think about grounding consciously, but you know, it's nice to have both aspects available to you, right? And so how do you get unstuck so that you can hear your angels about these specific things, about grounding, about removing beings, about safety, about wellness? You know, how do you unblock? Well, blanket exercise is a pretty easy way to unblock. So we could do it that way. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll make sure those 17 people finish up with their vacuum boxes. Want to take care of everybody. Okay, so, but this will help all you guys that even just now that vacuum box thing did not blow your mind. So just make a big gold blanket out in front of you, and then put onto the blanket any baggage that gets in the way of you hearing your angels when they're trying to recenter you. They're trying to help you with sort of energy safety stuff, like about beings, about boundaries with people. You know, your angels are trying to help you with boundaries and energy safety stuff, and sometimes you just can't hear it, right? So any baggage that blocks you from hearing your angels about beings, about energy safety, stability, wellness, right? And just put all that baggage onto your blanket, right? And then just say, angels, can you double check my pile, right? Because you don't want to clear too much at once. And then melt your pile. Because if it was too much, your angels removed a little, right? So go ahead and melt your pile and use lots of gold light. You can just use gold light, gold fire, gold water, or just imagine melting the pile or blowing it up, whatever is fun for you. That's cute. Okay, so my 17 people are catching up now. They're like, oh, I understand now, Janet. And then one person was like, I still don't get it. And then they're like, oh, okay. So that worked. And we're gonna do another one like that. We're going to do another one like that about grounding, because that's such a fundamental thing to have wide flowing grounding. It's the simplest thing ever. But if you're not, if your grounding gets really narrow, you can get really complicated symptoms of dysfunction, you know, in your day. So you might not realize it's just a simple darn thing of like getting a wide grounding again, and then all of a sudden everything can drain properly, and so now you're like sane and normal again. You know, and the world doesn't seem so irritating anymore. Generally, if the world seems really particularly irritating, your grounding is blocked and too narrow, and or you have aura damage, just as a heads up. So we'll be doing aura repair in a minute, or 2 or 3. But anyway, so, but what we want to do, even for the telepathic participants, right? The people that, oh, it's my, you know, Janet, can you heal my dad? He's not open to healings consciously, but he's bossy and rude, even though he doesn't mean it. So I know he needs a healing, you know, and then I talked to, you know, this client's dad, and I explained to him how it would benefit him. And he's like, yes, this is good. You must do this. You know? So he's what I would call a telepathic consent participant, right? So I'm healing him too, even though he's not going to see the video later and, you know, practice consciously. So I want him to be able to hear his angels on an ongoing basis. When they tell him to reground, I want him to be like, oh yeah, thank you, I will do this, you know, and then reground, you know, because that's nice. I want him to be healthy too, right? And everyone wants their bossy loved ones to be as grounded as possible, right? Because then they're less bossy, less cranky. So so we can do this very exercise, and I'm going to make sure all the telepathic people do it too, so that when you are cranky and you're not thinking about grounding, your angels subconsciously remind you, you're gonna listen subconsciously and redo your grounding. Okay, so make a blanket out in front of you, gold blanket, just like a picnic blanket, you know, just make it out in front of you and put onto the blanket. And if you don't like the blanket part, that's optional. The part that's not optional is putting out in front of you all the baggage that gets in the way of you hearing your angels about grounding. So just big blanket out in front of you, gold blanket, and put on that blanket any baggage that gets in the way of you hearing your angels about grounding. And then say, angels, can you double check my pile? And then melt your pile with gold light, lots of gold light, and just imagine melting your pile. The less you try, the faster it works typically. Just let the gold light melt it, or blow it up. You can do that. Good. Okay, that worked. So you can, you know, do an experiment and later, you know, see if, you know, my conscious participants, or people that are just doing it for themselves, later just see, was I more grounded, you know, during the day? And if not, maybe you need to do it more, because chances are your angels are absolutely reminding you to ground when you need it, but you may not, you may still be a little blocked. But the participants that I'm looking at, that was enough. So we're going to move on. So that was all just so that you can hear your angels better when they're trying to explain important things to you, like safety, boundaries, stuff about people courting you, that you need to melt their cords. That was sort of part of the first one that we did about being removal and boundaries and energy safety. And then we did one explicitly about grounding. So you hear your angels when they're reminding you to ground and to have a wide flowing grounding. All right. So go ahead, check your grounding, comb through it with gold light. I just checked in with Ariel and Jophiel because this is a healing masterclass, so they usually have more to say in the healing masterclass, and so I'll give their messages. And she's like, no, this is exactly where I want you to go. Keep going. She's like, you do you. I'll let you know if I have something extra. I prepped a lot with them, so I kind of, they already gave their input in many ways. But anyway, so just comb through your grounding. Chances are it's flowing much better now because you because of the clearing stuff that we did with the blanket exercise. And the vacuum boxes too. And then your aura, just imagine that, the bubble all around you, and just imagine where the rips are, if there are any. They could just be very shallow little, you know, spaces where you've lost some energy, little energy is dug out. Like, you know, here's your aura, that could be maybe little holes there, or they could be very dramatic holes that are very deep already. But either way, just go ahead and imagine if you do have any rips in your aura, and just wash them out with gold light and let them repair. And since we did vacuum boxes, that will probably help the aura repair process be more thorough and complete, because there won't be beings in the way, because you need the gold light from your hands to make contact with the ripped part of your aura. And if there's a being in the way, that won't happen. So you need to just wash out all the rips with the gold light, and then they'll start growing back, so that your aura is once again nice and whole. And when it no longer has rips in it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, your aura, because you're not leaking energy. So go ahead and you can look at your super buffers before you redo them, and just notice if there's any damage, because it's just really in the last, what, 20 minutes? So you would see what has happened in the last 20 minutes, you know, if there's been energy thrown at you by looking at your super buffers. And then just redo them, recreate your super buffers. So they're giant gold healing energy force fields attached to the edge of your aura, all around you. And I'm just catching up with my notes. So, okay, we just redid the super buffers again. And then flashlight beings. I talked about those in the last, in the triplet healing set that we did earlier this month, June. Flashlight beings, I like silly names for beings. I don't like to make beings sound spookier than necessary. So flashlight beings, what they do, they're typically outside of your space, I guess. Well, if they can get in, I guess, I think probably they would try to take energy from outside of your space. You know, they'd stay out and just take energy through chords. But how they try to bother you and, you know, create damage in your aura is by sending a beam of light. And so that's kind of like a flashlight, you know, sends a beam of light, right? So that's why I call them flashlight beings. So you just imagine, like, okay, so here's mini you, right? Here's your aura, here's your grounding, and then where are the flashlight beings, if there are any, trying to mess with you. Maybe they're right in front, you know, because that's the thing, they can kind of try to shut down your clairvoyance by sending a lot of beams of light towards your 6th chakra. And the energy centers right here, they could just sort of blitz your face. So you can see if you have any flashlight beings right in front of you anywhere or above you, that's typically where they're going to be. And then you just say, angels, can you please recycle all these flashlight beings? And then go ahead and redo your super buffers again. So, okay, we have a nice wide grounding. A couple people, their grounding got skinny again. So go ahead, make it wide. There you go. Red or orange or yellow are good grounding colors. Good meaning effective. Okay, so we unblocked your grounding, we repaired your aura, we did vacuum boxes to remove beings from all sorts of places. So let's do the good karma window repair. Well, let's first do the 7th layer work, the 7th layer of the aura, and clear out any big aura blackening situation that you might have there. Like maybe 20% of it is black, maybe 80% of it's blackened. We want to clear all that out, the hard, big energy blocks that are in your. It's sort of like if you have aura blackening, it's like it just looks like a whole band of heavy dark energy, and then maybe above that there's a little purple, you know. So we don't want that, right? So we're going to clear that. We're going to clear the aura blackening in the 7th layer of the aura specifically. So just think of the outer layer of your aura. So that would be all the way around you, even under your feet, right? To your sides, everywhere, the outer layer of your aura. And just think of how much of it is purple and how much of it is black. And then just use gold light on all those heavy, hard, stuck parts that are black. And if thinking about color freaks you out, because you don't have to see color, you can intuit color. You can think and use your intention to detect color. But if that weirds you out, then you can just think of like what's moving at the right speed, which would be your purple, and what's not moving at the right speed, what's way too stuck, which would be the black, you know, stuck deposits of energy. So maybe that doesn't freak you out to think of like, okay, well, what's the hard stuff that's not moving? That's what I want to melt, right? So you think of your 7th layer and just melt away the hard stuff that's not moving. Melt the black stuff, the stuck energy. If you have any white energy in your space, hopefully you don't, but if you do, definitely melt that. And if that's not melting, then ask your angels to remove it. But let's do the aura blackening first, just because I think that's more of an issue for everybody. Definitely the bottom of your 7th layer too, because if that's super blocked up, then this stuff isn't going to release so easily. So the bottom of your 7th layer, just imagine how much of that is stuck and melt that stuck hard energy. The bottom of your 7th layer, so beneath your feet. Not directly beneath your feet, that would be your 1st layer. So 1st layer, 2nd layer, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. So right here. And just anywhere in your 7th layer now, just melt away the aura blackening, any just hard stuck deposits of energy. It's basically lots of energy blocks that just kind of fuse together because they're all there. And like I said, the reason that we're doing this, I mentioned it a little in the intro, the reason we're doing this, and specifically the 7th layer, is because I noticed that it relates a lot to energy safety. because invasive beings, it's easy for them to sort of intuit how much stuck energy you have in that outer layer. And then if you have a lot of stuck energy there, they're like, oh, good, then they probably have stuck energy everywhere. And then they kind of are more likely to mess with you. Whereas if you have no aura blackening there, they're like, wasting my time, I'm going. You know, they don't want to waste their time, right? So we don't want to be stuck. So 7th layer, just get rid of all that stuck energy in your 7th layer. Just melt it away. Particularly energy that you've been forgetting about. You know, like you may have, you know, some closet in your house that is just like, as if I'm ever gonna clean that one out. You know, it's like there may be some part of your house where you're just like, it's always at the bottom of your to-do list, right? But we don't want that for your 7th layer of your aura. But you may have a spot in your 7th layer of your aura that is always at the bottom of your to-do list, right? But we don't want that, because now we're recognizing that 7th layer, the whole 7th layer all around, is very key for your energy safety, right? So that you don't seem super stuck to all these invasive beings, and then they're like, oh, good, let's get her energy. So just any part of your 7th layer that you've been avoiding, stop avoiding it. Just kind of notice that. Be like, oh yeah, I think behind me on my left, I've been avoiding that part of my 7th layer. You know, just kind of use your intuition or your intention and extra clean out any part of your 7th layer that you've been avoiding. And let's do some vacuum boxes there too, in that part of your 7th layer that you've been avoiding, and then really all over your 7th layer. Let's just do a bunch of vacuum boxes all over your 7th layer, turn them on, and then just sip your healthy beverage while your vacuum boxes suck up beings or people. It doesn't hurt people, by the way, if they get sucked into your vacuum boxes, because the angels will kind of clean off their energy and give it back to them. So now that your vacuum boxes in your 7th layer are full, you just say, angels, can you please recycle my vacuum boxes? So now extra, look for any spot in your 7th layer which you've been avoiding. And now it should be easier to clear out that stuck energy there, because maybe there were a few beings in the way before complicating it, and now they're not. And the bottom of your 7th layer, again, melt away stuck energy from there. Okay, good job. So what did we do? We cleared out aura blackening from the 7th layer specifically, and we used vacuum boxes there as well. And now we're going to do the repair of the good karma windows. And that whole area back here behind the neck and the base of the skull, because that's really important for energy safety. I noticed a lot of people not only had blackening in their 7th layer. I think that is more frequent these days, maybe because, you know, people are very triggered. And so when they're so triggered, they're more likely to dump energy on other people. So you could have had more aura blackening there in your 7th layer than, like, say, last year at this time. So anyway, so we just took care of that. But then a lot of people had good karma windows, had damage to their good karma windows. And how you kind of intuit that is that these windows, there's 7 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they're the color of that aura layer. So they should be red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, deep blue, purple. And that just naturally happens. You don't have to overthink that. But they should have triple frames. And a triple frame, let's see if I can find it in my journal. I made a kind of a sloppy version of that, but just to give you a general idea of what I mean by a triple frame. There we go. So this is a triple frame. Again, a very hastily drawn version of it, but that's good enough to give you the idea. So it's just there are 3 frames, you know, right inside each other, 1, 2, 3. And so that's one good karma window. It just happens to look that way. It has a triple frame. So if you kind of sense these frames that are here and sense, a lot of times when they're damaged, one side of the frame will be completely missing. It'll be like smash. It'll be like someone took a baseball bat and just went through half of your good karma windows. Or maybe just 1 or 2 of the good karma windows got smashed, like the inner 2. It just depends. You know, if some being was shooting energy there, or a person, you know, is shooting energy there, they can, you know, kind of like bowling, they can, you know, knock and destroy a couple of them at once. But now that your 7th layer is much more flowing, hopefully that's a lot less likely to occur. So now let's do the repair of your good karma windows. So you just imagine this area back here behind your 5th chakra, number 5, your throat chakra, behind there, and behind, you know, the base of your skull. So that whole area right there, all the way from there to the back of your aura. And just imagine your windows, comb through them with lots of gold light. And let's get rid of any beings that might be there. I know we've done a lot of being removal, but you really can't do too much. Can't do too much. So just make some vacuum boxes here, right around your good karma windows. Bam, bam, you just made them. Turn them on. Right now they're sucking up the beings. It's my suction noise. And then they start to ring when they're full. And then say, angels, can you please recycle my vacuum boxes? All right. So now you could have hard objects, hard energy objects. Like I said, you know, sometimes it's as if someone took a bat and just went whoosh and bashed a few. The bat might still be there. The hard object might still be there, stuck there like a spear or something. So just use gold light, and you can make like a gold burrito and just wrap the whole area with gold light, and just let the hard objects, hard energy objects that shouldn't be there, get stuck in your gold burrito. And then you give your gold burrito to your angels and say, here you go, angels. Okay, you can do that again, gold burrito around the windows, just to gather up any, you know, hard objects that shouldn't be there. And then just give that gold burrito to your angels. And then now we can do repair. You know, if you're healing somebody else, I would say do repair with just lots of gold light, and the windows will repair themselves. But if you're doing yourself, I would just say, just recreate the windows, you know, just real fast. You can just recreate them. So that's kind of fun. So either way works. You could just, even if you're doing your windows, you could use lots of gold light and they will all recreate. But I find it's quicker and more fun lately if I'm doing my own windows. And if you're doing your own windows, just recreate them with your intention, just and they're all remade, all nice with their little triple frames. And if that's blowing your mind, you just say, angels, can you please help me fix back up here? Can you help me repair all this stuff back here? Okay, great. And we can just comb extra this area just to help you release some energy blocks in this area around your good karma windows back here. You can get energy blocks that just kind of get stuck. You can blow them up. You can melt them away. I like sort of dragging them down and then blowing them all up. But you can melt them in place. They're just like around the windows sometimes, often. So when these windows are repaired and the energy's flowing around them and everything, and they help you to receive good karma from the universe. So I had a questioner say, can you help me with receiving this? So I guess this would be one aspect of that. You know, if this is all healed and repaired back here, then you can receive good karma from the universe trying to help you. Okay, great. So let's do now chakra repair and energy channels. Repair. Repair, unblocking, melting chords. Yeah, we're gonna do that all at once, and we're gonna do a lot all at once right now. If you don't like it that way, I think you'll like it. Just don't overthink it. Just kind of go with the flow and just say, angels, help me do this right. You know, angels, I don't know if I'm going to mess this up. If you have confidence issues, just you won't mess it up. But if you think you're going to mess up, just say, angels, help me to not mess this up. That's fine. Anyway, so I said we're going to do a lot at once, which is true. We're going to use composite copy technique, where you make one image that represents many things. So this one image, you're going to make two different images. That kind of works better for my brain. So that's what I would suggest. You're making one image that represents all your major and minor chakras of your body and spirit. So major chakras are usually the only ones that most people hear about, you know, your chakras. That means your 7 chakras along your spine. Those I would call your major chakras. You even have minor chakras along your spine as well, but those aren't part of the 7. So you have a minor chakra here, chakra 4.5. You have a minor chakra below your first chakra, your Kundalini chakra. So you have minor chakras along your spine as well, but you also have a ton of chakras, all these little acupuncture points that are drawn on this doll. Those are little chakras, these acupuncture points. And so those I would call minor chakras, even though they're super important, because they're not part of the 7 that everyone talks about all the time. So this one image that you have represents all your major and minor chakras of your body and spirit. And so it just looks like a cylinder. Somebody said in a comment, I didn't yet get to post, like, oh, I never imagined my chakras as a cylinder. By the way, I always manage them as a flower. It's up to you. I would say you may have something in the way blocking your ability to imagine, you know, there may be, because there's a practical benefit to seeing it as a cylinder, because then you see the flow in and out of it very well, and you can make sure it's all repaired. Because a flower, it's like, well, how does the energy flow in and out of that? You know, what do you do with that? You know, if you're imagining your energy centers as a flower, it's like, well, open, close maybe, but it's just every time I've seen someone who's doing it that way, and I actually look at the back of their chakras, they don't flow right in the back. They're not releasing enough. They could be a lot more present, a lot more safe back there. And so, you know, it's up to you. But if you are like, well, I can't see it as anything other than a flower, I would say there's probably a couple beings in the way. So just say, angels, help me to unblock my vision so that I can see my chakras like an open cylinder, so that I can, you know, regulate how energy flows in and out as best as possible, is what I would say. Okay, so anyway, you have an open cylinder to represent, which means a cylinder with 2 round openings to represent all your major and minor chakras of your body and spirit, right? And go ahead and make a big gold tub of healing energy, universal gold healing energy, and dunk that in the gold tub of healing energy. Okay, and then you can make a big gold tub, and then also in that tub of gold light is a composite copy of all your energy channels of your body and your spirit. So it just looks like a big long tube, and it represents all your energy channels. So big ones that you maybe already knew about, like the one going down each arm, shoulder and arm, big ones in your legs, big, you know, your spine is a big energy channel. Energy flows up and down your spine, hopefully. But then also there are energy channels, all these energy meridians, you know, in traditional Chinese medicine, they talk about energy meridians, how the energy flows up and down through, well, in all these different little patterns. So those are energy channels as well. So I would say let's unblock, let's repair and unblock and melt chords from all your energy channels of your body and spirit. So that's another composite copy. So you have all your chakras, all your energy channels, and just dunk both of those composite copies in the gold light, and just let the gold light unblock them and repair them. And let the gold light melt away any energy cord that shouldn't be there. The only cord that should be there is the one from your, if you are a parent of a young child, like a kid who's like 13 or younger, maybe 14 or younger. At the first chakra, there's a cord there. I call it your parent cord. From the first chakra of the dad to the kid, and the first chakra of the mom to the kid, or whatever, if there are two dads or two moms. But so you can keep the parent cord, obviously, but if your kids are young, one of my mom clients was like, so this cord stays for forever and ever, right? No, it shouldn't. All right, so let these get repaired and unblocked. So the person that asked about deservingness, the ability to receive energy, feel that you're worthy, receive good things in your life, that would be this. Go ahead and unblock this so that you can, all your chakras and your energy channels function properly, so that you can receive, proper energy flow. You can manifest better. You can, and of course, thank you, Jophiel. She has a message as you're soaking this stuff, so you can just let this stuff still soak. All your chakras, your major and minor chakras, and all your energy channels. Keep that soaking. And Jophiel says, "Hi, welcome everybody. This is a rousing, fun unblocking festival that you guys are having." And I just wanted to add that. Oh, that is cute. You can put special creativity and self-expression permission into your gold tub of energy. So you can just add to it, like if you need to, imagine it like gold sprinkles for your creativity and gold sprinkles for your self-expression. Or if you prefer, you can just alter the vibration of the gold bath that you're using to make sure that permission for self-expression is in there, and permission for creativity, your energy of creativity, your energy of self-expression. Just so you just set the gold water of this gold bath to include that, so that as you are repairing and unblocking and soothing your chakras and your energy channels, they can be elevated to allow for much more creativity and self-expression. Thank you, Jophiel. Great idea. And this is Jophiel again. And so now let's finish with that. So go ahead and, one last thing. Yeah, repair the protective force field around your energy channels. Just think about that all your energy channels have their own protective force field around, which is just, it's your energy. So just, and part of your vitality of your body too. So just use gold light and wash the outside of your energy channel composite copy, so that the protective force field can grow back and repair itself. Okay, so now get rid of your composite copies, get rid of your gold bath. And this is still Jophiel walking us through stuff. So now we're going to do callback, bring in, which is its own video. So if you search Janet Wright callback, bring in, you'll find it. But we're going to do callback, bring in for creativity and abundance. So first, the callback. This is still Jophiel walking you through. So make a gold 3D object, whatever shape you like. If it's a sphere, a cube, a pyramid, whatever. And with this gold 3D object that you've just created, use it like a magnet to call back your energy, specifically this time of creativity and self-expression. from wherever you left it. Maybe you left it in a really good creative past life and you're like, oh my God, this is it. This is, you know, where I can be creative. And so maybe your spirit forgot to bring that energy with you forward. Maybe it's just sitting in the past, not being used. So go ahead and call back your energy of creativity and self-expression into this gold 3D object. Just use the object like a magnet. So maybe too, somebody borrowed your creativity energy and never gave it back. And nobody should borrow your energy, by the way, but maybe that happens. So go ahead and just let this gold object be like a magnet and call back your energy from wherever it is, your creativity energy, your self-expression energy. And like Janet is demonstrating, your object can get bigger the more of your energy you're calling back. And then just have, I could do it. This is Archangel Jophiel saying this. So you can say, angels, please clean out this energy for me. Or you can say, Archangel Jophiel, please clean out this energy for me. And that's very easy for me to do, Archangel Jophiel. So then go ahead and receive that energy back that you called back to yourself. Your creativity and self-expression energy. So now we're going to do the bring in part, and this is still Jophiel walking us through this. So now we're going to bring in energy of yours that is for creativity and self-expression that you just haven't been able to bring in yet into your life. And if it's above you, if it's above your physical body aura, you haven't been able to use it in your daily life yet. So you may sort of theoretically on an intellectual level feel like you're a creative person, but there's nothing in your daily life that would show that. And that could be because you have creativity and self-expression energy. It's just too far off to actually turn into actions and expressions in your real life. So we don't want that. We want you to be able to bring it in and use it and enjoy it in your daily life, because otherwise, what is the point? So, good point, Jophiel. What is the point otherwise? Come on. So, okay, so you can, this is Jophiel again, you can just imagine these pieces of your energy that is your creativity and your self-expression energy that you haven't been able to bring in yet. Imagine them like rainbow colored chunks of your energy. They could be green, blue, red. Don't worry about the color precisely, but they're your energy, your creativity, and your self-expression energy. Just imagine bunches of that energy and just bring gold light through it so that it can come in finally. So imagine these balls of your creativity and self-expression energy that you haven't been able to bring in yet, and just run so much gold light through those balls of your energy that now they start coming in. All right, good job. Okay, so Jophiel's going to keep walking us through stuff. So she wants me to be quiet for a minute so that I can sense where people are at. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a quiet moment. Okay, so now we're going to do blanket exercise, also for the theme, creativity and self-expression. So go ahead, make a big blanket out in front of you. And put on, this is Jophiel telling me what to say, put on the blanket any baggage that causes you to self-limit, to limit yourself in your creativity and self-expression. So there can be ways in which you are stuck, mostly subconsciously, so that you are pulling yourself back. No one in the moment is actually doing it. You're doing it to yourself. You're limiting yourself, you're constricting yourself, you're holding yourself back. So we want to get rid of that type of baggage. So go ahead, big gold blanket out in front of you, pile onto it, just use the smart subconscious part of you and just pile onto it any self-limiting baggage that you have. Any energy blocks that cause you to limit your own creativity, cause you to limit your own self-expression. Self-censoring is sometimes what the term that's used. And there is some self-censoring that's good, but this stuff is not good. Obviously, the stuff that is motivated by blocked energy and baggage is the not healthy, the unhealthy level of self-censoring. So Jophiel says that we want you to keep self-evaluation, but lose the self-censoring. We want you to evaluate yourself and be able to adjust and fine-tune yourself, but this idea where fear or shame or guilt or whatever is preventing you from being you, that's what we want you to get rid of. So just any self-limiting baggage, self-censoring baggage, anything like that, just put it out on the blanket and then say, angels, can you double check my pile? And then just go ahead, lots of gold light, and melt your pile. Let's do that one more time. Big blanket out in front of you, dump onto it any self-limiting baggage, any baggage in which you are limiting yourself and your creativity and your self-expression subconsciously. And then lots of gold light. Oh, angels, can you double check my pile? And then use lots of gold light and melt the pile. So Jophiel, she says, great job, everybody. So now I'm gonna just let Janet do her thing. So, oh, you know, let's do another blanket exercise. Big blanket out in front of you, gold blanket, and we did the self-limiting stuff, so let's do the stuff from other people. Ways in which you are being externally limited. Like, so, you know, maybe it's from a past life or this life, but somebody kind of put stuff in your space to limit your actions, to limit your creativity, or somehow direct it a certain way, or to limit your self-expression. Let's get rid of that, because we don't need other people screwing with your energy, right? Enough of that, right? Be done with that. So big gold blanket out in front of you, and then just put onto it anybody else's energy that's in your space, anybody else's devices, baggage, black magic, whatever, any stuff from other people that limits your creativity and your self-expression. It could be from, you can even make a pile from this life and a pile from past lives, just so you can compare how much you need to release from the past lives versus this life. You can see which pile is bigger. And then say, angels, can you double check my piles? So what is this? This is piles of baggage and devices and black magic, whatever garbage is from other people that's within you, limiting your creativity and your self-expression. And just have that in piles out in front of you. Your angels already double checked it. So go ahead and melt it. Lots of gold light. Great job. Great job. Great job. All right. So we're gonna have a quiet moment as I check everybody out. So a little bit of unblocking, grounding. So just imagine you're grounding, make sure it's nice and wide. If it's not, redo it, red or orange or yellow. And just imagine any chunks of energy, blocked energy in your grounding, and melt it with gold light. And if you notice, and just intuit, are there any beings in your grounding? And go ahead and ask your angels to recycle them. So intuit how many beings you have messing with you in your grounding. And if you could see them, they would just look like, like blobs of clear energy, or like a poofy white cloud, or a spinning white cloud or like a big black rock or something. But anyway, just intuit the beings that are in your grounding and just say, angels, can you please recycle all these? Because I don't have time for beings to mess up my space. I'm here to be creative and express myself. I don't need beings in my way. Very good. So what we did is we just cleared some beings out of your grounding. I do have a video. It's called Advanced Grounding Clean Out, Beings and Energy Blocks. So if you just search Janet Wright, Advanced Grounding Clean Out Beings, maybe you find it. But that basically it's cleaning out your grounding. That's what that video is. But specifically energy blocks and beings, and it's very nice. If you've never cleared beings out of your space consciously, I think that one is the best video to start with, because you're just focusing on your grounding. So it's a very you feel very safe. The more you do it, the better your grounding works. So you feel really safe. So it's I would say the least likely way for, if you have a little bit of like nervousness around, oh, clearing beings, that sounds scary, Janet. Start with that video, because the more you do it, the more grounded you are, the more safe you feel. So then you're like, oh, I guess this isn't scary. So again, that's Janet Wright, Advanced Grounding Clean Out Beings is in the title. I'll try to remember to link it below later. Okay. So we're almost done. I just want to do a little bit with the creative rings, the top of just above the head. Your creative rings, they're 3 gold rings. We did a lot of work on those earlier this month in those 3 triplet set healings on June 5th, 7th, and 9th, 2020. We removed oppression devices from those creative rings, which is cool. But the name creative rings, it might give you a clue that they do help with creativity, creative inspiration. They're 3 gold rings that are above your spirit 7th chakra, your astral body 7th chakra. So they come and go with you if you go to sleep. They're above your spirit body's head. But anyway, you can imagine these 3 gold rings out in front of you, a copy of them, right? Usually they are right here. But you can imagine a big copy, 1, 2, 3, these 3 rings, and just use gold light and wash them off. You want them to just be gold and nice. You don't want any, energy wrapped around them like white or black or something. So just clean all that off. And We could do vacuum boxes around here. Why not? So just make some vacuum boxes, you know, maybe a couple inside the creative rings, a couple all around the outside of the creative rings, and then just turn those vacuum boxes on with your handy dandy remote control. And so then they start sucking up beings or people's energy that's around your creative rings. You don't have to make the noise. And then you just relax while that's happening. Stay here, maybe wiggle your toes. And then you make your vacuum boxes so they make a little ding 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 sound when they're full. So, which is pretty fast. And then you just say, angels, can you please recycle my vacuum boxes? All right. So now again, you're imagining your 3 creative rings, a copy of them out in front of you, a bigger copy. So I think sometimes people prefer small copies. It depends for me, but right now I prefer a big copy. And so these are for creativity. So let's, creativity, self-expression, they help your 7th chakra. Your 7th chakra has to do with confidence and identity. So, you know, anything that helps that is going to help with creativity and self-expression. So you just, as you're using gold light here with your creative rings, just kind of tune them on an intention level so that you can be more creative and you can have more self-expression. Just kind of be like, okay, my intention is to evolve, to move forward with my creativity and my self-expression. I want to move forward. I want to evolve. I want to grow in my creativity and my self-expression. And as you're doing that, you just use gold light and heal these creative rings. And then just, you can imagine just all 7 of your chakras, astral body and physical body. You can imagine the 7th fit into the 7th. The astral is inside the physical, so it just looks like 7 chakra copies out in front of you. Just let the creative rings energy kind of affect your 7th chakra, and then your 7th chakra affects your 6th, your 6th affects your 5th, you know, etc. So just let the ripple effect happen all the way down. You're not going to get your creative ring energy in the 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but each chakra just sort of, you know, the tone is set from above with your creative rings and your 7th, and then the others align to that. And as you comb through these chakras, your chakras, you can say, you know, I want to evolve. I want to move forward with my creativity and my self-expression. All right, so double check your grounding. Just make sure it's nice and wide and flowing and unblocked. Redo your super buffers. And again, if you don't know what super buffers are, you could just know, I guess, that they are big. They have 100 times more gold light in them than just regular gold energy aura buffer zones. They're just big force fields that you create of universal gold healing energy attached to the edge of your aura. And there may be like 10 feet out from there. And just, it's not your energy, but it's like a nice, strong, flowing gold buffer to help protect you. And you can have your angels help you to create those if you're a little paranoid that you did it wrong. Just say, angels, can you please help me create my super buffers? And that'll work fine. So to wrap up, just say hi to your angels and you can go ahead and say hi to both Archangel Ariel and Archangel Jophiel if you wish to. And just say, angels and Archangel Ariel and Archangel Jophiel, can I please have a blessing and a healing? And can I please have a blessing and a healing for my creativity and self-expression? And one or two of my participants forgot which archangels that are helping, so that's Archangel Ariel and Archangel Jophiel. So you would say hi to them by name, Archangel Ariel and Archangel Jophiel. Can you please give me a blessing and a healing for my self-expression and creativity? So I just said, everyone's, the 90 people that I just healed on a spirit level, they all said thank you. And I said thank you. We all said good job, good job, good job. All right, so the healing's over. Thank you so much. I'm going to catch up on the little chat messages I missed, if there are any. And we're actually very early, which is kind of interesting. Archangel Jophiel helped me with simplicity. I'm going to have a Q&A starting. I may have to move up that Q&A. We'll see. We'll see. But there is a separate Q&A live stream that's going to happen today. It's supposed to, if I go with the original time, literally, that I set it for, it would be 22 minutes from now. But I may move it up 5 or 10 minutes. We'll see. But anyway, that's going to be a whole separate live stream. If you are interested in participating, you're welcome. Even if you've never paid me a dime in your whole life and you're never going to, doesn't matter. You can watch that live stream and text chat a question about your chakras or your aura or meditation, energy healing, energy safety, etc. Text chat it towards the beginning because it's only going to be an hour live stream. Only. All right, so I'm going to catch up on these little comments. Oh, and yeah, if you would like, I don't want a lot of questions right now because we're about to do a Q&A, but if you have any comments about the healing we just did, or follow-up questions about the healing we just did, that could be nice. If you want to say, you know, how you feel after maybe receiving the healing from me, or you just did the healing on yourself only, let me know which and how you feel. That would be interesting if you want. If you haven't yet, give it a thumbs up. Please give this live stream a thumbs up if you would be so kind, because that helps. Okay. So somebody says, hi Janet, watching whales and dolphins while sitting at the beach and listening to my favorite class. Aw. Well, that's a very nice setting to enjoy this class in. Good for you. Someone says, the color of your sweater fits you so well. Yes, I tried several different versions of outfits. It's part of why I was 4 minutes late. I want to, you know, have an outfit that fits my energy at the time. And I don't always succeed at that, but I think I got it this time. So thank you. Someone says, here, love your hair now. It's very nice to see you. Yes, this is my pandemic hair that has not been cut since God knows when, January or February. But fortunately it's growing out well. Thank you. Someone says, LOL, you're talking about my dad. Yes, that's correct. Although there are other participants that have well-intentioned but cranky and bossy loved ones that need healing and grounding. Someone says, can you elaborate on why white energy is bad? I've always heard it is good to heal with white light. Thank you. Yes. Okay. A fun way to do that is to like, okay, if someone is saying, oh yeah, it's good to heal with white light, like first center yourself, you know, and then say, angels, can you help me with boundaries? And then read their energy, read like how many miles above their physical body is that person that is healing with white light. You know, usually they're like, woo, you know, I mean, like, yeah, maybe they're thinking some really spiritual thoughts way up there, but they're nowhere near their body, or they're only maybe in their 7th chakra at any given time. And then they use like these giant beings to help them be so spiritual because they're so out there, they can barely drive a car, you know, so they need all these beings. So yeah, I would just evaluate the people saying that and how that's affecting their actual life. Because the people that I've seen that do that are not so present. I think how it starts is that when you're in heaven, angels use a divine white light to heal you. So people get confused, but being in heaven is very different from being in a lifetime. And so when you're in a lifetime, in my experience, gold light is as fast moving as is helpful. Otherwise it's too fast and you get too spacey. So, and also a lot of invasive beings vibrate at white. So that's part of why all those people that consciously use white light on purpose, they have a ton of beings in their space because they can't tell the difference at that point. So yeah, so white energy bad, I wouldn't say bad. It's just, yeah, it's if you want to be as present as possible and as safe as possible and use your psychic spirit abilities here in the lifetime and, you know, enjoy a full embodied life, you know, enjoy flavor, taste, you know, have a real life as well as being spiritual. And I think you can be very fully spiritual and really be here. And I think that's the point. Because when you're in heaven, you can do all sorts of spiritual things without a body, you know. But I think the point of being alive here and now is to, you know, use your spiritual sacred stuff in your daily life. And you can't do that if you're using white energy because it separates you out. A little bit like alcohol separates you out. So there's that. Okay, somebody says, hi Janet, just wondering what you're healing besides the guidance of this video will be doing, as well as what your definition of healing means in this sense. I don't think you were very present when you typed that. I mean, I totally love you, and that's a good question actually, but I think you were like kind of out as you typed that, like, oh, what is this? But let me look at, I mean, I'll answer it concrete and not general and sort of the way you asked it, just because I feel like it's more useful. So before this healing, you were in 765, you were in your upper chakras more, you were kind of out, like I said, not that the day before, the day before you were pretty present, you were in 76543, but then when you were typing that, you were only in your upper chakras 7, 6, and 5. So literally I'm using gold universal healing energy, just like I'm telling you to do on yourself. That's what I'm doing for you. So I'm using gold universal healing energy to heal you, to unblock you, to repair you, stuff like that. So what I'm walking people through, that's what I'm doing at the same time, for you as a prepaid healing participant, which you are. So now you're in 76543-2. So you're just not in your first at the moment, but you're in all these ones. And so practically what it did is it got you a lot more flowing. Your grounding is releasing a lot more. You're releasing more from your inner aura layers than you were before. So it's just helping you to get more and more here. So maybe you notice a difference in your thought process now that versus at the start. So yeah, healing, yeah, I'm not going to get all like out and like super theoretical, but yeah, you know what healing means. Healing means repair. Healing means unblocking. It means changing your energy in a way that you want to change it. So Okay, someone says, "Hi Janet, you look so young. Please share your secrets." Yeah, good lighting. Yeah, I've my husband somewhere good living, good lighting. Yeah, so it's a lot of good lighting though. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4 light sources right now. But you know, yeah. Otherwise, healthy living. So yeah, meditation, energy healing every day. Meditation and energy healing is the same thing for me. So. Okay. Hi, Janet. Please heal my spinal cord disc slip problem. Well, I just gave a healing to the 90 people that prepaid. So you, if that name is your name, then you're not one of the participants. So I didn't heal you during this live stream. I do have some clients who have spinal issues. And so if I know that, you know, like they're going to do the healing, then I'll be more likely to add spinal energy healing to that group healing that they're in. If they remind me, oh, you know, I have this spinal issue, you know, then that'd be fun for me. And I'll just give everybody spinal healing because everybody always could need it. But yeah, you weren't a participant, so I wasn't actually healing you. So I didn't know, and you know. So yeah, sorry about that. But that's how it works. You would prepay and then you'd be one of the people I'm healing. And then it's more likely that, you know, if you tell me, oh, well, I do have a spinal issue, if it works in with the theme and what I'm doing for everybody, then I would add it for everybody as healing. But anyway, you can just search on YouTube. I have a video, Janet Wright spine healing. You know, spine healing, Janet Wright spine healing, and do it yourself. Just it just walks you through visualizing all the vertebrae and the discs in between and just get the energy flow better. I mean, I think for you, you know, you want to do the basics though that were in this healing as well. Don't just work your spine flow because you have aura damage and your grounding is usually pretty narrow and blocked. So I would say do this, you know, go back when it's a saved video. If you're subscribed and you choose that bell icon, then YouTube will send you an email when this live stream is over, and you'll get the live stream as a video that you can use and watch. Otherwise, you have to wait a day. For some reason, YouTube like doesn't put it on my YouTube channel until tomorrow. But if you subscribe to my channel, which is free, you just click subscribe and then you click the bell icon for notifications like now, then I think that's soon enough. And YouTube, when this live stream is over, you'll get an email of the video, and then you could use it. Because you need aura repair, you need grounding, widening, you need chakra work, you need all the stuff that we did in this healing. And then I would say your spinal work is going to be more effective. So in a way, this will help you if you do this stuff. I don't know if you followed along much because your aura does still need repair. You need all that stuff. So I would say redo the video even if you did it just now. But then use my spine healing video after that. Okay. Someone says, hey, I heard, oh, and just so you know, for me, I don't think that energy healing alone is good enough sometimes, you know, for physical stuff. Maybe that's obvious to everyone. I just want to be clear about that. So for example, you may have a physical plane issue, like say you need to stop eating wheat and corn and inflammatory substances, and that could be directly impacting the inflammation problems that you have in your spinal discs. And so you may need to eliminate wheat and corn from your diet, like period, or like large amounts of sugar even, because apparently sugar is inflammatory. I think only processed sugar is inflammatory, but I'm not sure about that. You could do your research. But anyway, there's physical plane stuff that you might need to change. You might need to go to a chiropractor, a good one, you know, as well. You may need like other levels of care that are physical plane, like diet modification and a physical level practitioner in addition to your own energy healing work. But energy healing, you know, if it were me, I would do all of the above, you know. I mean, I already do not eat wheat or corn because it's too inflammatory for my back. But anyway, just a heads up, it's not just energy work sometimes that people need. Someone says, hey, I heard that my life is going to become busy from a tarot reading. and I need more self-care in my life. I found your channel and it looked like it sustained my needs. I'm a Scorpio, by the way. Heart, heart. Well, thank you for the hearts. Yeah, I don't read the future, just a heads up. You may know that, but you may not know that. As a reader, personally, I don't read the future. I don't know if your tarot reader is a legitimate one or not, but I'll trust you that you did your homework. When someone reads your future, I mean, hopefully you get someone who's clean and who doesn't kind of put energy on it, but say you got a legitimate person who read your future and had strong boundaries with you, healthy boundaries. So they just saw, it's like you're a ship, and where you're headed is, they sort of look at where you're at right now and then where you're headed, and they just sort of can see where you're headed based on your energy right now, which is why I always focus on heal yourself now, do all your inner stuff now, because that affects your ship, that affects where you're traveling, right? Essentially, you're creating your future now through your inner wellness, your inner state of mind, everything now. So that's why, for me, it's all about nourishing yourself, balancing yourself in the present. So I don't read the future for that and many other reasons. But anyway, so just a heads up. But I don't know a lot about, I know that there is astrology that is very real. The more in-depth astrology, not like the back of the National Enquirer type astrology, but the in-depth stuff. I know that is real. Anyway, yeah, I won't get into all that. For you, I would just say, grounding, grounding, grounding. Maybe I have a video, Tricolor Earth Energy Soak. It's super easy. It's like 5 minutes long. Tricolor Earth Energy Soak. People even do that with their kids as like the first ever meditation video they ever do. But I would say that could help you to kind of land the ship, be a little more here, just get a little more, because the busier you get, the less grounded you get, the more disconnected you get. And so if you just can kind of retrain yourself through regular practice, try to stay here, be like a big rooted tree, So I'm glad you found me, and I hope this stuff helps. And if you want, you can ask a question in the Q&A if you have one. All right, someone says, hi again, Janet. If it's too long a question, I'll wait. Yeah, you're gonna have to wait because I already asked one for you. Yeah, that'll wait. Someone says, thank you, Janet. Thank you for your question. It's just that, I want to wrap up and you already asked a question. Okay, and we have a Q&A in like 2 seconds. Someone says, thank you, Janet. Feeling great. Love your humor. I'd forgotten how upbeat you are. Thank you. Yeah, my husband sometimes calls it Susie Sunshine. You can train yourself to see the positive and everything, see the upside and everything, and I think it's it helps make life a lot more fun. So thanks for the kind comment. Someone says, thanks, Janet. You're welcome. Thank you, Janet and angels. I feel a little off, not super bad, but just a bit. Yeah, funny whack right here, like hard object stuck there. And so you remove the objects and then redo the aura repair. It's very recent. Happened right like 20 minutes into the healing. Just, you might want to calm down your mom. Just say hi to her, remind her that she has angels. Okay, someone says, thank you, Janet. You're welcome. Someone says, thanks, Janet. Love you. You're welcome. Someone says, love the blanket release. Lots of past life baggage. Isn't that interesting to see? I like with the separate piles. So you see, oh, wow, that's a lot of past life baggage. Yeah, everyone has lots of past life baggage to clear. Because, at the end of a life, no one ever says, okay, you're going to die in a month. You better clear all your baggage up from this life. Nobody says that, and nobody does it. So everyone has lots of leftovers. Unless you have what I call a clean the slate lifetime, which is like if you work with me for years, then that would make this a clean the slate lifetime, where you keep getting rid of all the old baggage you've been dragging around, which is good. So it makes your next life a lot lighter, your next lives just easier and simpler. So it says, thanks, Janet. Great healing. I feel pressure on my third eye, wondering what was, oh, I felt pressure on my third eye. Wonder what was going on there. Thank you. Yeah, you had a little damage in your sixth chakra right in the front. If you imagine the front of your sixth chakra as like a big round opening, and then there was a little chip missing, but there was a being stuck there, so it wasn't healing. So you can just imagine if there are any beings in the front of your sixth chakra, just angels, can you recycle all these? And then just lots of gold light after that, and just repair any of the little missing pieces and unblock it more. But I think you got it mostly, but that could be nice to keep doing for you. Someone says, oh, well, thank you. That explains my mild headache too. Yes. Some people's relatives, they get confused and they think that your progress means that somehow you're leaving them out, or you're insulting them, or, you know, you're not respecting them properly. And so they just get confused. And so you can just keep reminding them, hey, you have angels. Have you talked to your angels about this? And then they'll start talking to their angels. They'll be like, oh, okay, sorry, Annie. Okay, someone says thank you. All right, good. So sure enough, I don't have to move my Q&A up. All right, so let's take a break. And then if you're interested, you can do the Q&A live stream. That will happen very soon. You just go back onto my YouTube channel, and there will be an event that says Q&A for today. And I'll start it maybe 5-10 minutes from now, something like that. Someone says, hi, Janet. I didn't feel the healing as it was happening, but I did start doing some art that I hadn't gotten around to yesterday and today while listening. I think it was from prep work with the angels. Yeah, well, I mean, you may not have felt the healing, but maybe it worked. People are funny. Sometimes, you know, it's like, oh, I didn't feel the healing, but I cleaned my whole house, you know? Sometimes what you, like I had a newbie with the triplet set that we just did, and she's like, well, I didn't feel anything, but now that I mention it, you know, I feel a lot calmer right now. It's like, I think sometimes, you know, people just think they're going to feel it in a certain way, but you know, however you feel it is how you feel it. You know, it could affect your behavior. It could affect your quality of sleep, your time management, how you communicate with somebody. You never know. I always suggest that people fill out their survey the day after, you know, so tomorrow. I'll send the participants a healing survey, but I recommend that they get a good night's sleep and then fill it out the next day, or even a couple days after. For this healing masterclass, you could, you know, take a few days. Just because oftentimes you see things over time and you realize like, oh yeah, that was because of the healing, you know, so that you can put it in your survey. All right, cool. See you soon in the Q&A if you want. And otherwise, the next live stream is, the next healing live stream is July 3rd. July 3rd, 5th, and 7th is the triplet set, the shit triplet, where we will help you to take care of your own shit and stop taking on everybody else's shit. And just a heads up, things are selling out. That one's already sold out, but even the July healing masterclass is almost sold out, so don't snooze if you want it. That's on my website, janetwrightreadings.com, and there's a sessions menu, and this says pay for sessions here. Okay, bye. If you want, I will see you in the Q&A in just a few minutes.